Coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, home of Super Bowl 57, it's the Geary Stein and Stevens Show with your hosts, Troy Geary, Will Stein, and Dave Stevens.
And we are back on Radio Row. Hello, everybody. Dave Stevens here with my co-host, Troy Geary. Will Stein's walking around getting us more guests, and he just brought us over a three-time Super Bowl champion, one of the only few guys in the NFL that has ever won back-to-back. And if you know how hard it is to win one, to win back-to-back, I mean, this guy is still a legend in my mind. I think you should still be out there running the ball. But LeGarrette Blount joins us. And LeGarrette, I mean, does it get old coming to these things as a rep rather than a player?
And community network and things like that. So it's always good to be out here.
Now, of course, you're here for a reason. That's why everybody's here. But you've got LG's Feel Good, and I know it's very important, especially as a football player, with what you go through on the day-to-day basis. And as we witnessed this year in Buffalo, you can put your life on the line at any time. So tell us a little bit about LG's Feel Good.
Dealing with mentally, things like that. So we're here for that and to spread the word on it. Um, Pills aren't the way to go. Opioids aren't the way to go. Getting the shots and things like that isn't the way to go. You always want to do things the right way and still be healthy and still be natural. I created this so that we can get away from people that are getting hooked and addicted to the pills and getting addicted to all the things that are going to affect your liver and your kidneys and all those things 10 years down the road. We're not acknowledging the fact that these pills and stuff that these guys are getting hooked on, some of these guys are, dying from it, from the liver and from the kidney stuff. So, we want to make sure that they can deal with this discomfort a different way than making their body worse, basically.
Three-time Super Bowl champion LeGarrette Blount joining us to talk about LG's Feel Good. And before Troy jumps in, I just wanted to reiterate, we talk about how CBD can help the body. I think people, they think, oh, marijuana, it's bad. But the parts of it that they take out, that, apparently what makes you get that high. But
right.
CBD is so impactful in your life with the things that it does. It breaks down your system, helps with your sleep, helps with your recovery.
Yes.
And I think, a big part of recovery in an athlete when you're playing a football game and you're every day you're taxing your body, how important that recovery is.
Recovery is extremely important. You got to be available to practice. You got to be available to play, right? So you got to do everything that you have to do and to make sure that your body and that your mind is sharp, right? So take care of your body. A lot of guys do the hot tub, cold tub. A lot of guys get massages before the games throughout the week. A lot of guys do a lot of things that put themselves in a position so where they're going to have to play the game on Sunday. Now, granted, we're in a game that is a 100% injury rate. You're never gonna feel as good as you did before camp or before the season starts. You know what I'm saying? So you're always gonna have something. You got to be able to manage that. You got to be able to do everything you can to put yourself in the best position to be available for the game, because the best ability is availability in this league.
And you talk about ability. I mean, Troy, he's had an ability, right?
Yeah, I want to ask you about back-to-back Super Bowls. I mean, you're one of three guys to ever do it. Chris Long, I don't know who the third one is, but talk about those 2 years. Just kind of how that experience was.
The experience was amazing. It was crazy to be able to do it. I'm not going to say that after a handful of games, I knew that we had a chance. But I didn't expect us to be as good as we were, considering the fact that we had just such a young quarterback. that everybody had confidence in at the time. A young football team, a bunch of guys on there that had no playoff experience and things like that. So um, we didn't think we were going to be that team until a couple key moments in the season happened where we felt like, okay, we can really be the team to beat. So the kick, the field goal that took the game over against the Giants, the 60, I think it's 61 yards with Jake Elliott kicked. Um, that was a defining moment for that season.
That was such a great season you've had, and again to finish that season, with the biggest trophy you can get. I mean, of the three, is there one that sticks out in your mind of being, just more than the others?
They're all equally as important, but if I had to choose one, I would say the Philadelphia Eagles one. It was probably my favorite one to be a part of and play in, considering the fact I almost had 100 yards and I scored a touchdown, so it was meaningful, and it was against a team that I had just won with that didn't care to bring me back. So it was sweet.
Well, speaking of Eagles, I'm sure you got them winning, but you got a score prediction for this weekend?
Man, I'm gonna say 31 to 21. I like us a lot, or it's gonna be we're gonna win by 10 points. I don't know what the exact score. We're gonna win by 10 or more points. So I'm 21 to 31, or maybe it's 34 to 24, or we got a really high potent offense. It is really efficient, and it is really fast, and it is really good. So I don't think scoring the points is going to be a problem for us.
LeGarrette, we watched earlier this season, towards the end of the season, one of your NFL brothers go down for the first time in our history where we saw, and I think I'm like, how did this never happen before? But when you saw that, did it make you realize like what a dangerous game this was every time you put on the pads?
Yeah, it probably put a lot of things in perspective for a lot of football players, especially myself. Somebody that is running the football and is getting hit all the time. This happened to a kid that doesn't even play offense. This happened to a kid that plays defense, right? He's not the one that is used to getting hit. So that just goes to put it in perspective. Like, anything can happen at any moment when it comes to this game. This game is extremely unpredictable. I know that people don't like to hear that and understand that aspect of it, but it is an extremely unpredictable game. The worst can happen at any moment, right? Whether it's I don't want to speak it into existence, but the worst could happen at any moment, and you never want to take that for you don't want to take this game for granted, and you want to do all the things that you can possibly do to protect yourself.
Yeah, and speaking of protect yourself, we can find LG's Feel Good stuff on what? Facebook, Instagram. Where do we find all of this amazing stuff that you're doing?
You find it at lgsfeelgood.com. lgsfeelgood.com is where you can find all the products.
All right. And hey, tell me what's your typical day now that you're not working out and getting ready for a tough season? What do you do with your life?
So I have a show that I do once a week, the Ultimate Betting Show with Ness and Bets. I have another show with Believe Sports Network. I have a couple shows that I do, and I coach my son's football team. I'm the head coach of the Gators, so I coach my boys' football team. He's 13 years old, so I coach that team, for the most part, full time. So that's usually my week. We have some game. We have a game or two every week. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun to be a part of. My dad was a part of it with me growing up, and it's fun for me to be a part of it with LB growing up.
Before I gotta let you go, do we think TD12 is done, or do you expect to see him sit out a year and come back? I mean, it's been a wild ride.
Man, I've been wrong about this prediction about 3 times already, because when he retired, because he's such a decisive person. So when he retired the first time, I'm like, oh shit, he hanging it up, and then he came back, you know what I'm saying, and then now he's retiring again, and obviously not on the circumstances in terms that he would love to go out on, as he wants to go out as a champion, but I think he's done enough to solidify himself and his spot in this league to be honored as such. And, I'm pretty sure they're going to put some things together and honor him. Maybe they retire to number 12 from the all 32 NFL team. I don't know what they do, you know what I'm saying? But it is time for him to hang it up and just, just go be with the kids, man, and just live life.
All right, LeGarrette, thanks for joining us. I know you weren't a big fan of the media when you're in the NFL, but now it's a little different because they're not trying to rip on you and pick you apart. So thanks for taking some time to join us and be a part of us on Radio Row. Wish you the best of luck. And again, that's LG's Feel Good, and I firsthand know how important CBD is for recovery and pain. So please go to his website. He's got great stuff. It's not about drugs. It's about getting better and recovery. 20 years of wear and tear in the NFL will do that to your body. So thank you for taking the time to join us, LeGarrette, and best of luck in the future. That's it from Radio Row. Once again, this is Dave Stevens saying, hey, next coming up, I don't know, you don't get many 3-time Super Bowl champs coming up, but we do have something amazing for you guys. Don't forget that you can, of course, get, what is it? Fresh clean breads, fresh clean teas. We got great shirts that we wear, and we got 25% off if you go to the website, freshcleanteas.com, type in the show code touchdown, and guess what? You get 25% off. So make sure that you do that. Support our entire staff and show between Will, myself, and Troy. And of course, we're letting LeGarrette go. But again, LG's Feel Good. I am Dave Stevens. That's going to be a wrap. And again, we'll follow us on Radio Row the rest of the day. I don't know what we got going, but we got all kinds of fun coming up. Stars leaving, stars coming. I got, where's Will? Will's over my shoulder. There's Troy. We got everybody in town. All the stars are here. So thank you for your support, and continue to follow Gary Stein and Stevens on all platforms.